Hello, Facebook Live. Let's go.
Hello, universe. Welcome to Off the Rails with Tom and Mark, the best comedy podcast in America. This is gonna be Off the Rails.
Welcome back, universe, to Off the Rails with Tom and Mark, episode 89, our first ever 89th episode. Today we're here with Mitchell Belacone once again. Thanks for coming back, author of Broadway Jose, Bud's Nose, and 2 dramas on my way to hell.
Coming to you from the Coldwell Banker Wholesale Realty Studio. Didn't give me room to drop in there, sir.
Sorry.
That's all right, no problem. So, hi, Mitch.
Hey, is this the part where I get to say thanks for having me?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, thanks for having me, guys.
All right.
Time to pay some bills.
Let's get this going.
Hi, I'm Jenny Shulka, Director of Human Resources at a family-owned and international company, Coldwell Banker Wholesale Realty. With 3 offices in southeastern Wisconsin and some of the top agents in the industry, we are here to serve you in all of your real estate needs, whether you are buying or selling. If you are interested in a career in real estate, we offer an in-depth training program to make you successful. Call us at 414-443-2030 or email roy@cbhsr.com.
All right. Thank you, Jenny. So this week, here's what we're doing. We're going to be with the very funny wordsmith, Mitchell Belacone. We're going to talk about his books and some good stories. We got some questions for him once again. Also on the show, Justin Bieber throws an octagon challenge. U.S. Women's World Cup rubbing Thailand's nose in it. Kentucky High School offering a class called Adulting 101. We got This Week in Florida Man. According to the Pentagon, my keto diet is making me harder to kill. Sex jokes can land you in jail in Texas. Public bikes used in the Naked Mile in New Orleans. And you can check out of the Taco Bell resort to now check into Mike Tyson's weed resort.
Hey, nice. Same building?
I believe it's the same state, so Mike Tyson's opening up a weed resort.
Nice.
All right, Mitchell, before we get to you, a couple quick announcements here. Winner of our Summerfest VIP package, Tracy Schulteitz. So congratulations to her.
Congratulations, Tracy.
And just when you think it can't get any better, Monday, when you listen to the podcast, Monday we will be having another contest for Summerfest.
Okay.
This time, you always say the sequels aren't better, but the sequel this time we will be picking 2 winners, and here's what you get.
It's the Empire Strikes Back of contests.
Yes, it is. We're gonna pick 2 winners. You and a friend can come to Summerfest. It will be all you can eat, catered by Saz's. You'll be in the VIP private captain's deck at the Briggs & Stratton stage. You will have free drinks in a private bar. You will get to meet the Appletones who will be playing there. You will get to meet the cast of Lake Michigan Monster. You can hang out with us. I'll have all types of giveaways going. So we'll be podcasting there on July 6th. When the contest drops, just be sure like and share and tag a friend. That's how you enter.
It's being run the same way as the previous one?
Yes, it is.
Excellent.
So if anybody wants to be a guest or anything, contact me. We're filling up fast. Maybe you want to join our podcasting network squad that's going to be coming out.
You're wandering away from your microphone, sir.
I do that. All right. Mitchell, have you heard about the Justin Bieber octagon fight?
Yeah, I read something about that.
Okay.
This is all news to me.
Who's pushing that fight? Was it an outside source or Justin Bieber?
That is Justin Bieber himself called out Tom Cruise.
Whoa, my money's on Tom Cruise.
I know.
That man does all his own stunts.
Yes, he does.
Well, Bieber's, I don't know, they're both pretty small guys. So maybe they're in the same weight class. So let's just start the argument saying they're the same weight. I wonder if any of them trains in Muay Thai or Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, I'm sure Tom Cruise does some of that stuff.
Tom Cruise is a Scientologist. You don't even know what they do.
There's like Scientologist martial arts.
There could be. How do you know? Nobody knows what goes on in that building. And he hasn't aged since Days of Thunder.
Yeah.
Maybe
Whereas Justin Bieber looks like he's 50.
Yeah. So maybe he's just up on the top of the Scientology tower sucking stem cells out of fetuses. That's what they're feeding them to keep them alive.
Doing handstand push-ups.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a huge fan of either one of those guys, although I do like most of Tom Cruise's movies.
Yes.
But I would root for Tom Cruise, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Someone needs to put Bieber in his place.
But...
Yeah. I mean, you don't know anything about Tom Cruise now. He lives a very private life. He does all his own stunts. He jumps from planes in stunt movies. And you want to call this guy out? Are you high? What are you doing?
Yeah, call out like Chris Hemsworth or someone who, doesn't do their stunts.
What's going to happen is Justin Bieber is going to come out. Tom Cruise is going to put him in a half Nelson, bite the back of his neck, suck his stem cells out, and he's going to age 90 years and die of natural causes.
I think Justin Bieber, who fights and punches at the press, ironically, is just a little bit attention needy.
Oh, yeah, you can't even take a guy who's got one hand holding a $1,000 camera and doesn't want any part of fighting. He wants to call out Tom Cruise. Get out of here.
Well, if you're Tom Cruise, do you even respond?
Well, Conor McGregor wants to host the fight.
Okay, sure.
So there's already people trying to make this happen.
Okay. Are there any rules are there age brackets in MMA?
No,
or is it it's just weight?
Yeah, it's all weight.
I suppose that's fair. I mean, if you are a Tom Cruise type and you're in like peak human physical condition, it doesn't really matter how old you are.
Okay.
No, in grappling tournaments, there's masters divisions, but in MMA, it's just weight.
Okay.
All right. Justin Bieber's tweet was, I want to challenge Tom Cruise to a fight in the octagon. Tom, if you don't take this fight, you're scared and you will never live it down.
Okay.
Sure.
Hey, Bieber, whatever your name is, if you're watching, I challenge you right here and now.
There we go.
I'll fly you second class or in the belly of the plane to wherever you want to meet.
Yeah, if you want to get to Tom Cruise, you got to run the gauntlet and get through Mitchell Belacone first.
I'd like to see
You gotta
that.
work your way up the brackets.
Yeah, you don't just start fighting Mr. Dream and Punch-Out. You got to fight everybody on the way up.
You could clear out I'd come to Milwaukee, clear out a corner of your set over here,
Okay.
and humiliate him in front of his public right in the corner there. Molly, if you wouldn't mind moving when he shows up.
We could do it in the gymnasium downstairs.
We have a gym downstairs. This room is big enough for an
He's
octagon fight.
begging for.
I bet you if we asked Justin Dredd, he could hook us up with a ring we could use. It would be a square ring, but
It
That'll
fit.
work.
There's more to this room than you
Just
can
put a
see.
couple
It's
boards
big
in the
room.
corners and you got yourself an octagon. All right. Mitchell Belacone, you're in Argentina. Do you follow soccer?
Not really. As far as the local teams that everybody's, the rivalries, Boca, River, I could care less about them. But I go crazy during the World Cup. I follow the national team.
Do you follow women's soccer?
Yeah, during the World Cup, but
That's going on right now.
I got a little bit irked in what the U.S. team did with Thailand.
That's what we're talking about.
I heard there was outrage. I didn't actually see any video. What did they do?
Well, they beat Thailand 13-0.
Ouch.
And I think the big outrage is basically coming from Megan Rapinoe. She scored a goal to make it 9-0.
Now, is this pool play?
This is pool play,
So points matter.
points do matter.
Yeah, it's not like they could have just given up after 4 points. Those goals will
Right.
help them.
Yeah, so how it works in...
Understood. The problem was they were celebrating on the 10th goal like it was the first goal.
Yeah.
So I understood you need the points, but don't rub it in their noses.
Okay, that's reasonable.
But the funny thing is now, down here, the United States is called EEUU. So when I cheer, it's ooh, ooh. That's the pronunciation.
Huh, okay.
Are you fucking with me?
I wouldn't do that.
I never know with you.
I'm not like that. Hey, I have a big debate.
Uh-oh.
Remember the last scene in Casino where De Niro had those big Coke bottle looking glasses?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, putting on my reading glasses, that's what I feel like I look like.
Okay.
But on the other hand, I can't see your reactions. Like, uh-oh, he went over the line if I'm not wearing my glasses. So there might not be any filters on me without the glasses.
So there you go. You,
Safety
if
sake,
you're not wearing them, you can't offend people.
Yeah.
The little bigger ones to hide behind. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh crap! I want to do my Pesci. You Jew motherfucker.
That's your Pesci.
That's from Casino.
Okay.
All right. I have not seen Casino.
Really?
No.
My dad met the guy. He used to work at the Stardust, whose car blew up. Robert De Niro's character.
Oh, okay.
So he had about 20 seconds in the elevator with the guy. The guy was all scarred up still from the burns.
Yeah, I like The Godfather 1 and 2. I never got into the other kind of mobster type movies.
I can't watch The Godfather.
Why not? They're great.
Why not?
The first two were awesome.
Oh, it just takes forever and nothing happens. It's like Game of Thrones with the mafia.
Exactly. You just got to sit down and let it play out.
For 5 hours?
You could skip the third one.
I never got to compliment you guys that I felt more at one with you guys when you said you've never even seen the Game of Thrones.
Oh.
I purposely went out of my way not to watch them too.
That's those two. I watch
Mark
Game of
has
Thrones.
seen it.
Oh,
Mark's invested into those long burns.
Well, I started
Long,
watching it
slow
because it had
burns.
Sean Bean, and I'm a huge Sean Bean fan. And it hooked me from there. So,
Yeah.
if you want my views, cast Sean Bean. You want me to
Alright.
watch the show? Get Sean Bean on the show. I'll watch our show then.
What do you want? We got Robert De Niro's stunt double here.
Hey.
We're doing good. So anyway, you think they over-celebrated too much? The Women's
Yeah.
World Cup team? Yeah.
yeah, over the top.
A lot of the news is reporting that they shouldn't have ran up the score, but those are people that don't know how pool play in
Yeah.
the World Cup works.
Is there a penalty for excessive celebration or anything other than adding time at the end of the game?
I don't think I've ever seen it,
Okay.
but they'll add time, but when you're at 5 minutes, they really don't.
And
go
once
more
you're
than
over
that.
10 points, they could add 15 minutes to the game. I don't think that's going to change anything.
You're just going to score more.
Yeah.
Not to change the topic
Yep.
to the books, which I'm in no hurry to do, but an over-the-top soccer celebration once cost me 15 yards. Let me explain.
All right.
I had a player who had never scored a touchdown. Nice guy, one of my favorite guys on the team. And he finally scores a touchdown. And as soon as he scores the touchdown, he starts running in the other direction down the field trying to rip his jersey off. And by the time we got the shirt back on him and back to the huddle, that wasn't 15 yards. Excuse me, that was 5 yards. A delayed game I got for that.
Oh.
Did he hulk the jersey off, or did he have to?
No, you can't get the jersey off over your shoulder pads while you're running, unless you have the wrong size jersey, and
Yeah,
a few of the players did, but this guy didn't.
yeah. Mitchell Belacone.
Mitchell Belacone?
We asked if he wanted Mitch or Mitchell. We didn't ask if he wanted bitch.
Mitchell.
Mitchell.
Hey, Tom,
I apologize for him.
Sorry.
you don't have to apologize. The funny thing is that the name fits me so well because I do my fair share of complaining, but nobody's ever come out with that name which would work for me.
Sorry. Oh, geez.
Yeah, it's Tom's cheat day on his diet universe, so
I
he's
have
now
not had
has
a
his,
carb in
his sugar
60
ones.
days.
Yeah.
And
You
I
know,
just had 2 double cheeseburgers from McDonald's.
It's like an 8-year-old.
Mitchell Belacone. That kind of has a good ring to it.
So hurtful. I'm getting punched from both sides even.
Well, I'm very sorry for his behavior. It will probably happen again.
All right, well, now I'm going to go out of my way to bitch about something. You
Gonna-
accuse me like that. You asked for it.
All right.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right,
So, Kentucky High School in Louisville is starting a class called Adulting 101.
What do they teach in Adulting 101?
How to cook food, how to do laundry, how to change a tire on a car,
So it's home ec and shop class.
wrapped into one.
It's just basic life skills.
Why not just make kids do home ec and shop class?
it doesn't sound as cool as Adulting 101. That's the new lingo.
Our class doesn't teach you how to do your laundry. It's sad that we need a class for that, though.
Well, I saw an article last week saying how it listed that millennials are not handy, and it listed 10 things, and it said the average millennial has only done one. And they were like changing a tire, changing a spark plug, shit like that. I was like, well, I've done like 9 of these things, and I don't consider myself handy. It must be so depressing to be like, I haven't done any of those things.
Is it, though? Are they depressed that they can't do those things?
Have you changed a flat tire?
I have not changed a flat tire.
Tom, have you changed a flat tire?
Yes.
Yes. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But it's important because if you're driving alone and your tire blows out or something, you got to do that.
Yes.
I believe I told the story of when a millennial in his car broke down in front of me and just put his hands up like he didn't know what to do.
Just walk away from the car.
Well, I had to tell him that, the first thing you do is push the car to the side of the road and put the hood up. Yeah,
the universal sign of I'm in distress.
Yeah. He didn't even know to do that. He was just given the, what the fuck you want? What do you want me to do?
Ron seems to think that the fact that you haven't watched Casino, Mark, is even more of a reason to punch you in the face.
Oh.
And he says, come on, Joe Bob was in that one.
Mm-hmm.
He was. But I'll get to it.
Okay.
It's one of those you have to watch.
Like Godfather 2.
Oh, my God. I just can't get into them. I try. I have watched them. But it's paint drying to me.
All right, fair enough.
I don't know how I feel
Mitch,
about this adulting.
Have you changed a tire?
Class.
I haven't owned a car in 20 years. The last 3 years in New York, I got rid of my car, ditched it. It was just a big hassle to have.
Okay.
And here, there's no point in having a car. Taxis are dirt cheap. Public transportation is good. But I have changed a tire, but I have an intimidation factor on my bike because I so rarely get flat that if I have to change it, it's a scary proposition to me.
Okay. Well, I've never changed a bike tire. Is that hard?
You need a wrench.
There's 2 different types of tires for racing bikes. Sew-ups, where you have to glue the thing on. Yeah, that's a pain in the neck. And then there's your regular tube tire, which can be hard depending on your tire or not.
Okay.
But no, I don't bother with a car. I got one story for you about having a car in New York.
Let's hear it.
Arnold Rothstein, the guy that supposedly fixed the 1919 World Series.
The Black Sox.
And he was a gambler, and he was gambling with his buddies one night. He lost $100,000. But even in those days, to this type of character, it wasn't any big deal, that kind of cash. But the friend that beat him for the money sent him a Rolls Royce with a note on it saying, here, I hope this makes you feel better. So Arnold Rothstein sent it back with a note on it. Thank you very much for the gift. It was thoughtful, but who needs a car in New York anyhow?
Yeah. So do you think tire irons sold in New York change more tires or involved in more crimes? Probably 50-50.
Well, it's protection. You're paying for protection.
Yeah, intimidation. Guy pounding a tire iron, you take him a little more seriously.
So back to this Adulting 101, I suppose they're going to teach basic accounting too?
Yes, how to write a check too.
How to balance a checkbook?
Just basic life skills, it seemed like, yeah.
Because I had a roommate once who, he gave me the check for, I had to pay utilities, one of them. He gave me money for some reason. And I didn't cash that check for like 2 months because I had a online bank and I had to mail all my checks in. So every 2 months I got all my checks together and I mailed them in. And that check bounced because he didn't balance his checkbook and just checked it every day. Oh, I got money. And he just spent it.
Okay.
So, you never know when you're going to encounter an asshole like me who doesn't cash the check right away.
Maybe they should rename that class Don't Go Through Life Like a Moron.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty much what it's called, adulting.
I mean, this is the kind of stuff that
be a bitch.
Kids should know as they grow up. So I'm all for teaching it. Their parents aren't teaching them, so someone's got to teach them.
It's just sad that, I think they said on the article that it's like this one, at least in particular, is a 3-day class, though.
Well,
That's
no,
a
this
lot
should
of
be
stuff.
this should be a whole 2 semesters.
Right.
Whole year.
I think this article said it was a 3-day class. That's a lot of stuff to try to cover in 3 days.
Yeah. Well, it should also teach basic cooking and basic nutrition, so you
Right.
know how you can go to the grocery store and buy produce and turn it into healthy food. It's also cheaper. This is why America is
Right.
so obese, because everyone just goes to
And a
McDonald's.
couponing section. And
Well, calculating the price per ounce quickly in your head, so when you're price comparing.
Tom's my human calculator when we're shopping.
It drives me nuts when some things are price per ounce or price per package or something. Ugh. Why can't they all be the same?
I had an ex-girlfriend that was in charge of the diabetes program for Merck in Argentina. And you could draw on the graph, you could draw a direct line when the fast food restaurants started coming into Argentina and the rise of diabetes type 2,
Mhm.
which was a rare occurrence until fast food.
Wow.
Yeah, I had to pick these guys up some cheeseburgers for their keto diet cheat day. I haven't been in a McDonald's drive-thru probably in a decade.
All right.
Tom gets hangry.
That'll bring us into our keto diet that I'm on. Well, today it started off really bad because I bought a giant box of Captain Crunch for my cheat day, and we didn't have milk. So I'm like, fine, I'll just have lunch.
We'll go to the gas station. Get a thing
We
of
didn't
milk.
have time. We had stuff to do. We had to get to McDonald's. So we get to McDonald's at 10:50, and it should be serving lunch at 10:30, but on the weekends it's 11, so now I can't get what I want from McDonald's, and it was a whole thing.
You know, if you would have just went out, bought some milk, had your cereal by the time you would have got to McDonald's, it would have been 11. Just saying.
All right. Well, the Pentagon is eyeing up doing a controversial. They're trying to make a keto diet for soldiers.
For special forces guys and whatnot.
Sorry, I wasn't laughing at you. Ron just said he can't change a tire and doesn't give a shit. Fight me. I have AAA.
Okay.
It made me laugh. Sorry.
If that's how you want to do it, sure.
Instead of punching me, Ron, how about we have a tire changing race? You can call AAA and I'll just start changing the tire.
Then he still wins because you changed his tire.
Well, my tire versus his tire.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, Tom.
So is this Army Man diet, is this the keto diet specifically?
Keto diet specifically.
What are the advantages of it?
You can stay underwater for longer periods of time, making the fat and protein heavy plan
Yeah, but
beneficial for military divers.
My sister-in-law is on it, and she's saying how it takes 3 days to get back in ketosis or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
So what if you're in the field and you're out of MREs and you've got to just scrounge food from the environment?
There's not a lot of carbs in the environment.
Well, what can't you have? Bread?
Can't have bread.
Is that it?
Sugar?
No. Sugar?
Okay, so
All carbohydrates.
can you have just fruit?
No.
You can't just have an apple.
No.
Well, there's apples in nature.
We are trying to take over all the apple orchards.
I don't think it's a good idea for soldiers to be on a diet that requires specific things and not eating specific things. Because eventually you're going to be in a situation where those things aren't available to you. It's like why I'm against robot suits for soldiers, because eventually that suit's going to break down and you're going to be fucked. So you may as well just train as the bare minimum of humanity, as little equipment as possible, and focus on building up from there, not doing weird diets and adding trinkets and gadgets to your arsenal.
Well, if you're an underwater diver and your body handles oxygen better, where you need less of it, so you can go deeper and stay underwater for longer just by what you're eating.
That's interesting.
Your ability to
but now the
sustain
diet,
oxygen.
I don't trust these fad diets.
Well, they have to feed the soldiers anyway, so why not give them a certain diet?
Because that's even harder now, because you can't just procure stuff in the field. You can't just stumble across an apple orchard and be like, oh, we can't eat this shit.
Okay.
We got to go kill some bunnies because all we can eat is meat.
Yeah.
Because that'll look look good when we're in other countries trying to liberate them, and we walk through the apple orchard to go kill all their livestock and eat the meat, leaving all the apples.
Yeah.
So other than holding your breath, what else is it good for?
You're already in basically starvation mode and adapted to it. So you don't have the fatigue happen in the field when you're out of food.
So your body's already eating itself.
Yeah, pretty much.
So you don't have fat reserves or anything to fall back on.
Yeah, but when you enter ketosis, you get very lethargic
But
at the beginning.
Soldiers eat like 4,000 calories a day sometimes.
Yeah. Not these guys. Mitchell, you've never had any weight trouble, have you?
The most I ever get is 8, 9 over what I want to be.
Okay.
I've been active with sports. My big thing is portion control. But as far as this diet and that diet, I've been around them. I mean, they're all Game of Thrones to me. I don't want to look into them.
Well, you're one of the lucky ones.
Well, it's all that bicycling and whatnot. You know, you keep an active lifestyle and you can more or less eat whatever you want as long as you're active enough to burn that stuff off.
Well, I mean, there's a lot to be said for diets. Put it this way. I had cholesterol tested at 277 about 8, 9 years ago. Then I had it tested 2 years later because I was a little worried, and it was the same, basically, 276.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was with my wife, who was a good cook, and she cooks healthy, and I did more cardio sports. I did more cycling because I gave up the football. So I had more cardio and a pretty healthy diet. And the doctor told me my cholesterol, when I went in for the results, was 165. I said, was that the good or the bad? And she had to convince me that that was my total. So I went down over 100 points on cholesterol just on eating more salad and a little more cardio.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm not saying you should have McDonald's for every meal, but if you eat healthy, you can treat yourself every now and then. I love the idea of the cheat day. I think every diet should have that because you have to maintain this diet long term.
Right.
So if you're not allowing yourself to have that whole deep dish pizza all to yourself or whatever it is that you crave, you can't maintain that lifestyle without being able to cheat.
Plus, it kind of seems to reset it.
You start to lose weight faster afterwards.
Well, my
You
sister-in-law
plateau.
was saying she hates having to get back into ketosis. She doesn't do cheat days because she doesn't want to take 3 days to get back into your self-starving, eating yourself mode.
Well, what happens is you'll drop 10 pounds quick, and then it'll take 2 weeks and you'll drop 1 pound. If you do a cheat day, you'll gain that pound back, but then in the next week, you'll lose 5 pounds.
So she should be
Doing a cheat day.
every fourth day. She should be resetting the diet.
No! Every month or a couple weeks, throw a cheat day in there. It'll help you out. I'm down to high school weight, so.
Yeah, but you're a muscular guy. You've always been fairly active.
Yeah. So I'm harder to kill than I
You
ever
played
have been
soccer
before.
in college, right? Didn't you
Yeah.
do a lot of that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Ron says it's really hard to eat healthy when you don't make a lot of money.
It is
It
expensive.
is expensive to eat healthy.
No,
which
it's
is
not.
a
You
shame.
go to Pick and Save. You buy a bell pepper and an onion, and you make stir fry. It costs $2.
You
Some of
can't
the-
eat those onions. Too much sugar.
Some of the stuff, especially for this diet, is expensive.
Yeah, for the keto diet. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
talking for a regular healthy person.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can have a stir fry for $2.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the problem?
All right. What's the problem, America? All right. Mitchell Belacone, author of Bud's Nose, we got up there. Broadway Jose, you are a cyclist, so here is a public rental bikes were being used during the Naked Mile in New Orleans. How do you feel about that?
Are you going to drag me back into bidets? Is that what this is about?
I have a...
That's our next article.
He figured this would be a trigger for you.
You know
I
what?
think.
Since you're bringing that up, I was on the phone yesterday with Kohler.
Right.
And they did not get back to me. They said in the future they usually need a couple weeks to get this all okayed by everybody, but they will come on and talk bidets with you. So I am in the process of setting up. I was going to have a special guest for you today.
I would love it. But I got to admit, since the last show, I've matured a lot.
Really?
So even look at my shirt today, just plain.
Well, we can't see it. Oh, okay.
Oh.
All right.
You didn't have the bidet.
You're going
shirt.
classy today.
Well, I was going to put on a tweed jacket and a pipe to go the whole route. I didn't think that would fly.
Awesome. All right. 2019 World Naked Bike Ride in New Orleans.
Was it a man or a woman riding the bicycle naked? Not that it makes a huge difference. They both sound incredibly uncomfortable.
Everybody was. These were all rented out.
Oh! I thought it was like one person rented out a bike and then went naked.
No, all the bikes were gone. You couldn't even get a rental bike. Everybody wanted to participate, but they didn't have a bike.
Is that on the contract from when you rent the bike?
They didn't see this coming. The people who contract out the bikes said, we didn't expect this.
Okay.
We didn't think people would be riding the bikes naked.
I've seen those all over the world. They have naked bike days.
Yeah, we just missed it when we were in St. Louis by one day.
Yeah.
You
know what I like what I'd like to see more than anything is I'd like to be in New York. I think I left since it started, where people go to work on the subway in their panties and their boxers.
Huh.
Reason being so much in New York because everybody's so aloof and so standoffish, and there's just this. I'm trying to think of the word. I'm losing my English and not learning Spanish. I figure in another 5 years I'll be completely dumb.
The worst of both worlds.
There's like a force field around people in the subway, like, do not approach, do not talk to me. So there they are in their boxers and underwear. I think it's kind of cool.
They're all ignoring each other. Yeah. So, I mean, I suppose if you're riding a bike, I think of the bicycle I had when I was a kid, where you're sitting the entire time, but you watch like people on like racing bikes. Do their butts ever even touch the seat? Do they even need a seat?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
There's two things about being on a racing bike why you're seated so forward. One is aerodynamics, which is your biggest enemy.
Mm-hmm.
And think if there's no wind and you're going 25 miles an hour, you're bucking a 25 mile an hour headwind.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty fast example. And the other is like a jockey, when you're crouched over, you're taking the shocks and bumps with your legs and knees instead of with your spine.
Okay.
And that's all the technical points that I have to make about sitting on a bicycle leaning forward.
Now, take all that into consideration, but now you're naked. Do you change your aerodynamics?
Does that adjust your game plan?
So, I'm not going to mention you steer with your rudder, you steer with your handlebars. So.
Well, also, I mean, if it's a rental, do you want to sit naked on that seat?
Some people, they said, were putting down towels.
Yeah, I'd wrap a towel and some rubber bands or something on it. Plastic bag.
Yeah, they were just putting like a plastic bag over it. And
that sounds awful.
Yeah. I'll take an old washcloth or something.
Yeah.
It's only
that I brought from home.
Yeah, it's only a mile.
How long is the ride?
It says naked mile.
I could handle a mile.
Oh,
pretty much
just
everything.
don't sit on
naked.
The seat.
Yeah, if I had to.
All right.
It'll give you a real good thigh workout if you just stay off the seat the whole time.
Yeah. Well, you're burning calories, right?
People in races, I've heard of people that busted their seat post and they finish a race standing up. So
yeah.
I could probably do a mile standing up.
Yeah.
I suppose a mile isn't that long on a bicycle.
I'm not sure on the mile, guys. Sorry. One headline said naked mile, but now it's just naked bike ride. So I'm not positive on how far. But it's New Orleans.
A mile seems to be awfully short for a bike ride.
Yeah, it does.
But naked. So maybe there's that.
With everybody. Maybe they got to keep you in.
On after the mile.
You can't just be going 100.
Can I wear socks? Can I wear shoes?
I don't know. I think you can wear what you want.
Some pedals might look spiky.
Yeah.
We're trying to teach my 2-year-old how to bicycle on a tricycle, and she won't keep her legs on the pedals. So we're thinking of getting some rubber bands or something and strapping her in.
Duct tape. Just duct tape her.
Yeah, it doesn't have those little things that grab your feet. The little shoe cover guys.
Those little stirrups.
Yeah, stirrups. There we go. So yeah, she just gets her feet out of the way if we push the thing because she doesn't want them to touch her feet.
Awesome. All right. Well, we'll keep some of these stories for the bonus episode here. We're running a little long, but
hey, can we go back to diets for a second?
Yeah, sure.
Sure, we can.
I got my glasses on so I can see the reaction. I was on the Subway diet for a while, but that went out of fashion. Do you know why that diet went out of fashion?
Yes.
Yeah.
I assume you know why it went out of fashion. I just ate at Subway the other day. I still like Subway.
in a pinch, it's better than McDonald's. It's the lesser of all the fast food evils.
And you just don't get the mayonnaise or whatever, and it's a lot healthier.
Yeah, and they were lying about the size for a while too, just like every guy does.
Yeah, that's 6 inches.
Yeah.
Wait, who was lying about the size Subway was?
Yeah, it was like 11 inches. It wasn't a foot long.
Yeah, they had those commercials, the $5 foot-long commercials, but they weren't actually foot-long subs.
Do you know what they call the foot-long subs in France?
No.
The Belacone?
No, they don't have feet and inches in
the
France.
metric system.
Right.
What movie was that from?
Pulp Fiction.
There you go.
Yeah.
Catch on. You're taking me too seriously.
A Royale with cheese.
Royale with cheese.
Yeah.
All right, Mitchell, you want to hop on the hot seat here? I got some hot seat questions for you I forgot to do right away. Okay. Are pirates cool swashbucklers or jock jerks of the sea?
Ooh, that's I was just thinking about that the other night. I couldn't get it off my mind. So I have so many thoughts. Well, I guess it depends. If you're on the boat and you're a pirate, you get into it and want to rob and steal everybody. Mm-hmm. And if you're on the other boat getting robbed, maybe you're not so into it. So it's a situational thing. So I'm not going to...
If I'm doing it, it's okay. If someone else is doing it, they're a jerk.
I'm not going to take a moral position on it. I'm just going to say, if I'm on the pirate boat, I'm doing what I got to do. If I'm getting robbed, then I don't like pirates.
I'm going to go on a limb and say pirates are jerks.
They're jerks.
Yeah.
All right. When you ride a bike, do you obey traffic laws?
Never. I mean, if there's a cop there, maybe.
Okay.
Some of the traffic laws work against you. Let's say when I go to ride my bike where there is no cars, there's bike lanes. But when I cross the street, I want to get ahead of the other cars. So, if there's no traffic coming, I'll jump the red light so I don't have to deal with these cars on the right of me that are turning left. Because a lot of them won't see you. So if any chance you have to avoid cars or avoid a potential situation, I take it.
Okay.
Do they give out traffic tickets to bicyclists?
I wouldn't pay it. I just start talking English and say I'm a guest here.
Oh, he's playing.
I'm on vacation with my wife. I don't know.
It's a funny thing. Can I tell you a story that's maybe not part of the hot question?
Go for it.
Let's go.
Things work differently here. So to get a driver's license, I said, I need a driver's license. So some friend said, oh, I know somebody out in this province that can get you. You just pay and they'll give it to you. So
it's like the fake ID guy here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I go out there. There's a big line of people. I don't feel too guilty when I just go inside and they hand me the license after I pay the 300 pesos. This was back maybe 6-7 years ago.
What's that in American dollars? Do you know?
At the time, it was probably $5-6.
Okay.
And on the back, that was the payoff. On the back of the license, it checked the box. Motorcycle, check. Never rode a motorcycle in my life. Tractor trailer, check. I think for another 200 pesos, I could have been a co-pilot on Aerolíneas Argentina. But the thing about it is, I can't wait to use it in the United States and someone to scream over at me, hey, buddy, where'd you buy your license? Oh, in a province outside of Buenos Aires. Do you need the number?
Yeah.
Very, very inexpensive.
Do you know who I am? Have you seen Casino? Yeah.
Mark, did you see it or just didn't like it?
I did not see Casino.
I don't know how you went through the 90s without seeing Casino.
Well, I was more of a science fiction guy. I didn't see Godfather until I was in college.
Okay.
And I loved it and watched all 3 in a row. That's how good they are, Tom.
All right.
Well, the third one sucks, but
I agree.
But once you get that far in,
everybody concurs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm still on the hot seat.
Hot seat. Do you sock shoe or sock shoe?
Whoa.
You're putting your socks and shoes on. Do you put both socks on first and then both shoes, or one foot all the way at a time?
I would say 94.7% of the time I'll put both socks on first.
Yeah.
I walk around the house with my socks on, so yeah.
Okay. What kind of monster puts a sock then a shoe on the same foot and then moves to the next one?
Well, I mean,
Go ahead.
No, I could see like if you have like back problems or something and you don't want to bend up excessive amount of times, I could see focusing completely on
Since
one
you're down
at
there?
a time. Yeah, I'm here because like we don't wear shoes on the second floor where we sleep, so I put my socks on in the bedroom, walk downstairs, put my shoes on.
Okay.
But if it was all in one floor, if it was in a apartment or a ranch home or something, and I was having back problems, I could see that.
All right, Mitchell, you're gonna help me and Molly out here because we have this fight all the time. Molly refuses to do this. Whose job is it to turn the light out at night?
Where is the switch?
Uh,
How many switches and where is it?
Do you mean the light in the bedroom or
In the
like
bedroom.
the living room? Or...
No, the bedroom.
Okay.
I will be laying in bed, tucked in. The light will be on. Molly will walk past the switch, crawl over me, tuck herself in bed, and leave the light on.
I'm going to say last person.
Last person? Why do you do that?
Do you guys don't have table side lamps?
No.
No.
On your nightstand?
No, we
No.
have a ceiling fan light.
Do you have a remote for it?
No.
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 I just got a ceiling fan. It has a remote on it. It's real
That
nice.
would be awesome.
Oh, you 1%.
But we also have nightstand lights.
Okay.
Because we're living it up.
Yeah. So last person in, or do you just do it? It's your job.
The question's at me.
Yeah.
I think you should show your true love and say, I'll jump right out of bed and turn out the light for you.
Whoa.
I think if she's
And your devotion.
if Molly's still up, you should say, "Hey, can you grab the lights?" But once she's in bed, chivalry takes over, and now you have to do it.
Ugh. She's got no reason why she.
But there's no reason
I-
you can say, "Hey, babe, get those lights while
You
you're up."
shouldn't have
It's
to
one
ask
light.
me. I just
Wait, does anybody have
Space.
to walk around the bed to be able to do it? Is it?
She has to crawl over me to get to her side of the bed. I
Why
try to
is that?
keep her by the window with the ledge.
You guys
I have
sleep on a
table.
bunk bed in a submarine? What is this?
yeah.
She climbs over me. She gets the wall. So
okay,
she
the bed's up against the wall.
bed's up against the wall. She can block entry. So I'm not coming at her all night.
So you want her to turn the lights off in the dark, then climb over you and get into bed?
Our light hangs right over the bed, the ceiling fan. So as she's climbing over me, she just has to hook shot, grab it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she doesn't. And then I have to untuck myself, stand up all obnoxiously.
Now, I'm against having cell phones in the bedroom, but do you have your cell phones nearby? You could use
Yeah.
the flashlight?
Mhm.
Okay, that's reasonable.
Yep. Anyway, that's just a fight we always have. Seems to be every night that she doesn't turn the light off.
That's the onus is on you to say, "Hey, babe, can you grab the light?" You're a doll.
I'm at the point where I want to see if she won't do it.
Then you're going to have to get up.
I know.
You,
All right.
You know what, Tom? That was an over-the-top hot question.
Over the top. That was loaded.
No, that was just a dig at me.
That's my butting into your home life. I can't go there.
That's all we do on this show here.
Yep.
It's butt into Tom's home life.
Here we go. Pizza cut in squares or triangles?
I go with triangles because that's what I grew up with. But, well, you know, growing up in New York, I had the ego thing that New York pizza is the best, and people in Chicago with their square pizza would say their pizza is the best.
Yeah.
And being an adult now, because I took that class, the New York pizza, if you just order New York pizza, is the absolute worst greasy, fake cheese, glue you could possibly try to digest. Even if when I'm in New York and I order pizza and I'm ordering a whole pie where I have control over it, it's got to be just make it with mozzarella and don't like load it up with grease, por favor, please.
I think for the cutting scenario, it depends on the situation. Like if I'm having guests over and we made some frozen pizzas, I'm either going to be super narrow triangles or I'll do squares just so there's more slices.
Okay.
Because if I do the traditional, 16 slices or whatever, 8 slices, that's going to disappear in 2 seconds if there's more than 4 people over.
Yeah.
So if it's a big group, small pieces. But if it's just me and Susan sitting down having pizza for dinner,
Triangle.
I'll probably do triangles. I'll probably do them narrow anyway because I like having more slices even though they're smaller. In my mind, it feels like I'm eating more.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
All right. And which character of Friends could you have done without?
The whole lot of them.
Didn't like
Wasn't
Friends?
my show.
Okay.
I liked Courtney Cox was on that.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, just for looks, I liked her.
Okay.
All right.
They were all like interchangeable to me. I didn't.
Yeah, I could do without Joey.
I like the guys. I don't think like Monica or Rachel I could have done without. They weren't that funny.
I think
Everybody else.
Chandler, I related a little more to Chandler because he's kind of the neurotic weirdo. Like not crazy, he's just neurotic.
Okay.
And I'm kind of that way at times. So
I think Phoebe irritated me.
What?
Phoebe's a handful, but you can't be too judgmental of women. So
Which one was Phoebe?
Phoebe was the musician who would
the
sing
blonde?
Smelly Cat.
The tall. What was
Yeah,
her name
tall
in
and
real-
skinny. Yeah.
What's her name in real life? The actress.
Oh shoot, I should know this.
Lisa Kudrow.
Yes.
Boom.
Oh yeah, I didn't care for her kooky character. No,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay.
The same for like Seinfeld, the little guy with the neuroses. I liked the show okay, but
George?
the neuroses sometimes got over the top.
But I identify with George.
I also
Well, we
can't.
all do a little bit. You have to.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I don't like myself that much. So I
There
don't
you go.
like him either.
He reminds me too much of myself, therefore I do not like him.
It's like I can't stand Charlie on Always Sunny.
I love Charlie.
Nope, can't stand him.
Molly can't take them. All right, Mitchell Belacone. Let's talk a little bit about your books. That's why you're here, right? So what are you doing? I see you. I see you out there.
I don't have to talk about the books. I'm happy to hang out. It's not like I got a lot of friends. You could probably pick up on that.
You got to work on that Spanish, sir.
Yeah, you don't speak the language in the country.
The beautiful thing about not learning the language is in a social situation that you don't want to be in, and you walk away. They just figured, he can't follow the conversation.
Just stare at them blankly and nodding your head.
You gotta learn and then not tell them that you learned so that they can't talk behind your back and you
Yeah.
don't know what they're saying.
So you can eavesdrop on them.
That's the only fun of learning a language.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna talk about your books. that's
Because
what
that's what's on the schedule.
If that's what you want to do, if that's what you guys want to do, okay, I'll go with that.
All right. Your books, they're supposedly non-fiction or fiction. You have like a disclaimer.
Did you read the disclaimer?
Yeah.
You remember?
Once a long
what
time
it
ago.
Once a long time ago. Yeah, it said basically it was very detailed. So is it kind of like a combo? How did you remember these stories so vividly?
Well, I don't know how legal that disclaimer is, but I said any person living or dead, this should not be any, I forget the technical, this should not be person living or dead, even those you and the author might wish were dead.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So I threw some comedy into that. If somebody sues me, I hope that doesn't throw off my legalese.
Your Honor, it was a joke.
But
You
when I
should be
was
able to take one.
when I was reading Broadway Jose, it was like you remembered every play of every game. Did you take?
Did you
a journal?
reconstruct those games, or did you actually remember all of that specifically?
I got mashed potato brains as far as memory. I watched
Okay.
the videotapes.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. So, when you became a writer, when did you decide to become a writer?
I guess people told me that I had a funny way of putting things. We're good with words, making funny things. So I just sat down and wrote a short story about 20 years ago, and then do it for fun. And if you notice through most of my stories, there's always some little axe to grind with somebody. So hate is a motivating factor.
Well, why not? You get to control the narrative a little bit. You get to explain your perspective of why this person's a jerk. So, yeah, it totally makes sense.
You said it better than I could have said it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So Molly and I just bought a boat. Tell us
Heck
about your living on a boat experience?
Are you in a boat right now?
Well, if you ever go to live on the boat, the best thing about living on the boat is you can't buy stuff. There's no room for it.
Okay.
So I kind of was in the sailing thing for 10 years. And then like far as Gump dropped running, I dropped sailing. Cold turkey.
Yeah, what made you do that? You were living like this super awesome, crazy bachelor lifestyle, and then you just said, meh, I'm done. There's got to be something.
It got expensive for a while. And plus, when you have a boat, what kind of boat did you get first off?
Oh, we just got a little fishing boat.
It's a metal rowboat.
Yeah, it's not a boat like your boat.
it's not
not
a
what
motor.
you're thinking.
It's not even a dinghy.
Well, those kind of boats are a lot better in a lot of ways. You don't have to dedicate your whole life to them. You can go out, fish, go to a bar that has a dock,
yeah,
and get back to where you're going, and you don't have a huge investment. I had a sailboat, a 42-foot sailboat that I built back from an insurance wreck and put a lot of my money into it. So anytime I wanted to do something else for the weekend, I'd feel guilty. Well, I should be out on the boat and this and that. But
I spent all this money on it. I should use it.
Yeah. Ours is a 16-foot boat.
Sheet metal.
Yeah. I guess why I quit that lifestyle. It got expensive and just wanted to do other things.
Okay.
So, and I replaced it with cycling, which was healthier.
Now, did you sell the boat while you still lived in America, or did you sell it when you got to Argentina?
No, I sold it right before I moved back to New York when I was living in Charleston, South Carolina.
Okay. And what made you basically up and... I know you said you traveled there and liked it, but that does seem, I like a lot of places too. I'm not going to get up and move there. What made you move all the way to a different country?
That's a big commitment, and we're all terrified of that.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. The funny thing is I was living in Manhattan, and as a single person, approaching my 40s, and I wasn't walking in and out of offices taking over the world. So as a single guy looking to hook up, my stock had kind of apexed.
Okay.
Especially in New York, it's kind of what you're doing, who you are, da-da-da. So I had I had thought about moving other places in the States, and none of them really appealed to me. I never thought of Milwaukee, so don't get offended. Maybe that would have been the place for me.
Yeah.
If it wasn't such a thing as winter, I'd probably live in the Midwest somewhere.
Yeah, winter's hard.
But
it's a hard 8 months.
You could have brought your boat to Milwaukee. Just saying.
Yeah.
On a gurney. I came down here on vacation, and there was all my sports were here. People were friendly, and most of all, it was dirt cheap. Mm-hmm. And I could act like Mr. Big on very few dollars.
Okay.
Yeah, my wife was saying that a lot of English and American people retire to like Brazil and Argentina because it is so much cheaper to live down there if you have a fixed income. Yeah.
That's my story. But, here it cycles. It'll get expensive. It'll get inexpensive. Now it's inexpensive. There's a restaurant that just opened on the corner. I had a terrific lunch, executive lunch for $3.10 with fish, salads. Amazing the prices now.
Oh, that's awesome. So you made a football book. You ever think of doing a book on cycling next, since you're pretty involved in that?
Well, I am thinking of doing a book on cycling now because I don't know if I mentioned it to you. There's a Cycling Quarterly in England. It's a magazine that just comes out 4 times a year, and it's really cycling literature. It's called Conquista Cycling. And they bought the one cycling story that was in there and encouraged me to write some more. It was called Bathers in the Buenos Aires Fountain of Youth, about octogenarian cyclists that still ride very well.
Mm-hmm. Now imagine if they were on the keto diet, they could ride forever.
Yeah. So the reason I'm thinking of writing a book, I'm getting off screen again. Woo.
There you go.
The reason I'm writing a book, thinking of writing a book, because if I write more stories for them, I'll have a collection there.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So is that's your future plans pretty much, or what are you doing next?
Yeah. Well, that would be one of them, to write more cycling stories. The other is I want to take from Bud's Nose, the short story Bud's Nose, and I want to write a screenplay for that.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, we know some actors in this
I
room.
think it would be an easy to shoot. Yeah, it's a low budget film. You have the dog.
Well, you got to make the dog CGI.
You have a dog, a guy, and a small part for a woman. Of course, if I...
Or we get Tom Cruise to play the guy.
After he
CGI
beats the
dog.
crap out of Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber can play the woman.
Yeah, that would be a low budget screenplay.
Well, I think Hollywood in general, I think, is spending way too much money on movies. I think, small indie movies, kind of like what you're talking about, I think that's got to be the wave of the future if the industry is going to survive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, speak for them. I just want to make it cheap enough for somebody to film, because half the screenplays that get sold, or more than half, never get filmed.
Yeah.
And
Have you written a screenplay before?
I have a bit of a film background, and if things go my way, in the back of my mind, this would be something I could film on my own.
Okay. What's your film background?
He was in Casino?
You know the little holes in the side of the film?
Yeah.
I punched those.
The sprocket holes. Oh, okay.
No,
Little X-Acto knife. You're just cutting each one out.
When I got out of school, I worked in making commercials,
Okay.
retail commercials, with a partner for about 2-3 years. I starved, and that's why you have other short stories of me working at the door of a strip bar because I was broke. But, it's something I wanted to get back to, that I could do a little bit more on my own terms.
Okay. Get a little bit of directing.
I did a sitcom pilot, too, that only had one problem, really.
What was that?
Wasn't funny.
Okay.
Ooh, it's a drama. You got yourself
Now
a
it's
drama,
drama.
sir.
There you go. I did it in South Carolina. The script that I made wasn't anything spectacular, number one, so I'm not blaming other people. But the actors were kind of a pain in the neck. And I had a couple buddies, and I were editing it, and we think, you know how we could save this movie? It was a half an hour. I'll give this idea to someone else. Half the show is the actors doing their thing, and the other half is the editing room with the editors just knocking the actors and what they had to deal with, and all the personal vendettas with the actors.
Yeah.
Just ripping into them the whole time.
You should have filmed that and the behind the scenes with the actors and made a documentary.
It can have like
that's the thought to save it if I had to rescue that sitcom that wasn't funny.
Yeah, it could have like a Mystery Science Theater 3000 vibe where you're breaking the third wall and you're cutting to the editor's room where they're commenting on how terrible this scene is.
That was probably my influence. On Amazon, that's when on my Amazon page, Mystery Science Fiction Theater gets thrown in on my page because there's a Mitchell involved with it somewhere.
Yeah, there's one of their better movies is called Mitchell.
Yeah, Mitchell Fishing Wheels. But I loved that show too. So maybe that was that's where the seed got planted.
There we
for
go.
My idea.
Let's make it happen. I haven't seen that before, so having that idea of the guys in the film in the editing room cutting it together, like in between scenes, I think that's a good idea.
See, as a marketing guy, what I would have done, what I think a lot of TV shows do that come out with comedies that are not funny, they just market it as dark humor.
Dark as in you can't see it?
Dark humor, and then everybody's like, that wasn't that funny. That must be dark humor. I think they're doing a good job.
Well, Susan and I just watched Major League, which we hadn't seen probably in decades.
Okay.
And that movie didn't have a lot of jokey jokes in it, and I don't think we laughed once during it,
Okay.
but we really enjoyed it, and we had a great time. So it's like, in the 80s, a comedy was just a movie that's fun to watch.
Yeah, I suppose.
It doesn't have to be, jokey joke all the time. So, I don't know.
Speaking of books, anybody, let's limit it to the first 15 people that email me or message me on Facebook with their email address. I'll send a gratis free, for those that don't speak Latin, I'll spend a free copy of Broadway Jose, and I'm going to mail them out the 19th.
Nice.
So
Tom's writing that one down.
Email. Mitchell.
That's only for Broadway Jose, and they'll go out the 19th.
Only the first 15, right?
Yeah, maybe more. We'll see.
All right.
Tom's getting
if
15
there's 17
copies.
people from your show that write in, I don't want to have to be the one to say, "Hey, sorry, you
Sorry,
lost."
guy.
So where do they email you at?
Just to show that I'm not first of all, I won't use that email for anything else. I don't, obviously.
Yeah, make a burner
I'm
email
not
address.
Passing that email on to anybody else, or I'm not going to use it for anybody else or anything else. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Mitch, MITCH 14929 at AOL.com.
At AOL.
Yeah, I never grew out of it.
So they have to email you in the past.
Well,
Send this email back in time.
Well, he's still living in the Americas.
It's Argentina online.
Yeah, South America.
To someone in the past.
Yeah.
Excellent. Molly, you should put that in the comments there. First, did you? You're nodding like you're listening to me.
No, I did not put it in the comments. And I've been,
Oh, what?
I'm always doing a million things at once,
Yeah,
man.
well, throw that in the comments there.
And did I mention, just so I don't get it confused here, it's the E version.
Okay, yeah, ebooks.
You can read it on a Kindle, you can read it on a phone or your computer. You might have to download an app to be able to read it on your phone or iPad, but there's a way to do it. They simplify it for you.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I think ebooks are probably also going to be the wave of the future because it's just so easy. Everyone's got a smartphone now. Everyone, reading is good. It's good for your brain. Exercises the old gray matter. Yeah.
Staring into a screen, though, is not.
That is true.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried a Kindle?
I have a Kindle Fire at home.
I'm using a Kindle for my soundboard right there.
Should be reading things on it.
I read Bud's Nose and brought a Jose on there.
All right.
No,
And
I love
Christine's
my
book.
Kindle.
And Christine's book we read on there. So, okay, bushmeat. Do you know what that is? It's in the
Bush?
UK.
UK bushmeat?
UK bushmeat.
Kangaroo.
It is chimpanzee meat is being confiscated
Yeah.
because it's contaminated with AIDS.
They have chimpanzees in the UK?
They send chimpanzee meat to the UK and they call it bushmeat. For all the
Okay.
rich people.
Yeah, I thought bushmeat was like Africans shooting chimpanzees in Africa.
What kind of people does bushmeat appeal to?
It's rich people.
Well, adventurous eaters, I could see. Like, I would eat exotic
or
meat.
Like somebody that wants to eat something exotic, but
Yeah.
not anybody's staple, I would hope.
Yeah.
It's too similar to humans because it can contain DNA of HIV, and you can get AIDS from eating bushmeat.
Really?
Yeah, that's why they're
Ooh.
confiscating it.
Did
so
not know that.
chimpanzees with HIV, it can be.
So I'll
bad.
stick to eating bonobos. Thank you.
They probably can have it too.
I think bonobos are more like people than
And
chimpanzees.
chimps, yeah.
Mark,
So it's a luxury meat in the UK.
Mark, what are I'm living in the past, so forgive me. What are bonobos?
Bonobos are the love monkey. They're a type of great ape. They look kind of like chimpanzees, but
They're a little.
they have sex all the time. It's a social thing. Instead of saying thank you, they have sex. Instead of saying hello or goodbye, they have sex.
and
yeah.
they're our closest relatives.
Yeah, they're a very amorous
Makes sense.
primate species.
Oh.
They have stopped all shipments of bushmeat coming to the U.S. So
Again, I didn't know you could get bushmeat here in the States.
I didn't either. I've never heard of it, and I wouldn't try it.
I might if I was told it was clean.
From Mark's description, I'm more tempted to go to the source.
yeah.
We're going to Africa.
All right. Rumor mill: Bradley Cooper and Irina Shayk breakup did have a lot to do with the movie A Star Is Born and Lady Gaga. Uh-oh.
I saw A Star Is Born. I didn't care for it.
No.
I didn't think they had that great on-screen chemistry. So I'm going to go, "Meh."
No.
Did you see A Star Is Born? The newer one, Mitch?
I did not.
Okay.
I was tempted. I have DirecTV here,
Mhm.
and I'm tempted to pay. I was tempted to pay for it, but it's scary to do anything with DirecTV because if I paid for one movie, they could sell me 20 of them, and I would have to get on the phone with Colombia and argue the country of Colombia, argue with a professional phone blocker to please take it off, and they never would.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So I thought it was bad here.
That shot in at DirecTV, unless I'm going to write a book about them.
All right.
Yeah,
nightmarish organization.
We got rid of cable. We're all at my house. We're all Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime, and that's it. And broadcast television.
Okay.
And I'm thinking of selling this apartment to be near a park for my kid. That's where I'm going to go. No more cable and no more getting off the grid there, so to speak.
Okay.
Totally agree.
As of right now, Tarantino is up to do the next Star Trek movie, and he said it will be rated R and full of curse words.
I trust Quentin Tarantino. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Do you like Star Trek, Mitch?
I'm not. I watched the TV show way back when, but I've seen a few of the movies. Not a big fan, but I am a big fan of Tarantino. If he did one, I'd go see it.
Hell yeah.
Sure.
And he's a real dyed-in-the-wool nerd.
Yeah.
So I totally think he would. He's gonna use language, but he's gonna do it. It's gonna make sense. It's gonna feel natural when Quentin Tarantino does it. So I am still excited and looking forward to this project, and I'm still afraid it's gonna get canceled and never get made.
Yeah,
because that's too good to be true.
What amazes me about him is his dialogue kind of sets the tone for what's hip and what's cool. I mean, it's really amazing. The earthiness, the urban, the whole thing. Even he does country characters. Everything he does is great, but with his own personality, it comes off like a nerd.
Yeah, he's this squirrely little man.
There's this disparity. You can't figure it out.
You guys look like dorks. Couple of dorks.
Perfect.
So I guess I'm just jealous of Quentin Tarantino. He's figured it out.
Yep. All right. Saudi Arabia is about to lift its prohibition ban
on
alcohol.
Oh, I didn't know you couldn't get alcohol in Saudi Arabia.
There you go. Good for you guys. You're going to love it and then hate it in the morning. And Mitchell, be careful with your cocaine. It's being laced with fentanyl and also reports of levamisole, a new deworming drug used in farm animal that is causing the rotting of the skin and death.
Why would you do that to your valuable clients?
Yeah.
I don't understand why people...
cheap.
Yeah, but you want these to be repeat customers, right?
Yeah.
That's just simple economics, people. Stop lacing your drugs with dangerous things.
Not an issue for me. I'll medicate with marijuana, but I've never tried cocaine.
Is marijuana legal down there?
Quasi.
Okay. Medical?
You can have up to 5 grams.
Interesting. Okay.
If you knew what a gram was. I thought this was 5
kilos.
I don't know.
A gram is 400 pesos. If you knew what a peso was.
Yeah, there you
How
go.
much does a peso weigh?
A peso is 45 to 1 about right now.
Yeah, I think pot's going to be legal in the entire U.S. in the next 5-10 years, maybe, if not sooner.
Oh, yeah.
So
you're not going out on a limb for that.
Yeah.
I watched the show with the people that came on about the cannabis. It was, to me, it's a crime that it's not legal.
I agree.
Because I had a hip surgery, and they gave me some painkiller stronger than morphine. I was a zombie for 2-3 days, depressed and angry. Have no idea how anybody could get hooked on that miserable drug. I tossed the pills. Some woman that I knew in the music industry brought me over 6 joints. And as soon as I smoked one, I laid back. Okay, I'm still in pain, but quote unquote, I'm at peace with it, man.
Far out.
It's cool.
I agree. Medically, at least, it should be legal everywhere.
Oh my God.
Yeah, if the doctor says it'll help, then yeah, why not? I don't see why not.
Yeah. So new research is saying breastfeeding might be more harmful.
But it got us this far.
The problem that they're having is with the pumping and storing of the breast milk.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It
like
harbors the worst bacteria. So breastfeeding right from the tap, all good. When you pump and store it for later, that's worse than formula. So they're saying it's either from the tap or a formula bottle will be better.
We went formula pretty quick for our daughter.
Yeah.
But
How
Susan,
old's your daughter?
she's 2 years old. But my wife went back to work, and I'm stay-at-home dad, so it was really impractical. We kind of had to go to the formula before maternity leave was over.
Speaking of Susan, it's her birthday today.
It
Happy
is her birthday
Susan.
today. We had breakfast this morning, and she's making me dinner tonight.
Have fun on your birthday, Susan. Birthdays are great, but too many will kill you.
For the record, Susan wanted to make me dinner. I wanted to make it for her. She insisted on making it. So this is what she wants.
What did you say, Mitch?
I said, happy birthday, Susan.
Oh,
Thank you. I will pass that on to her.
Make sure not to cut any part of the name off or any version of
No
it.
Sue.
It's
no
not Sue.
Susie.
Sue is a verb. You sue someone.
Okay.
If I don't share the profits in the show when you make it big, I plan on it.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. And we're going to get you hired by Kohler the next time you're on. I'm in contact with them. I wanted to surprise you. Sorry it didn't work out this episode.
They could
but
call their first bidet the Belacone.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's a great. It sounds
Not their
European?
first bidet.
Yeah.
They
Their
make-
top shelf
Yeah.
bidet.
Ooh, you
Thank
want the
you.
Belacone.
Mike,
Yeah.
Mike, that was a very nice thing to say to me. That was a terrific gesture. I'm not going to forget that.
Well, I was. The lady I talked to, I think her name was Jennifer over at Kohler. She said, I'll get this all to you, to our marketing guys, and they'll get back to you.
They're a huge toilet factory, and
Yeah.
they're one of the more fancy brands.
And what impressed me the most is when I told her who we were, she knew.
Yeah, because she has caller ID.
I called from my cell phone. She heard of Off the Rails. She probably saw our bumper stickers zooming around on cars I randomly stick them on.
Those things are hard to get off, Universe.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Mitchell, you want to stick around for the bonus episode?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
I don't know where else to
All
go.
right. Well, let's wrap this one up here,
Cool.
Mark. Thanks
Oh,
for
wow.
stopping. Mitchell Belacone of Bud's Nose, Broadway Jose. And remember, the first 15 people to email him will be getting a copy, an e-copy of Broadway Jose, which is an excellent book for Father's Day Universe, which is tomorrow.
Hey. So we are off the
But
rail.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Go
The
ahead.
books will go out the 19th.
Okay.
So
Oh,
give your
just
dad
missed
an
it.
IOU.
Sorry, I forgot Father's Day. Here's a book.
Yep.
They'll have them the 19th because it's instant, within 5 minutes after I mail them.
Excellent.
What'd you say there, Mal?
Your mom said she sent an email.
You already got an email from my mom, but those have dirty pictures. Nothing to do with wanting a book. She just wants you to check her out.
All right, we are off the rails with Tom and Mark, and you can find us on the internet. Key phrase is off the rails TM. Email us at offtherailstm@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, our website, Twitter. You can find this podcast on SoundCloud, YouTube, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, other places.
Every other place.
We're also there. See our website for more details.
All right. Thank you very much, Mitchell Belacone. And we'll get to our Mike Tyson story and our criminal offense for Texas campus joke story. I cut those out of this episode, but we'll get to them on the bonus. And remember, Universe, we're not good enough for you.
Thanks for tuning in, Universe. Rails.
I got to count that out.